So I was kind of curious with this thing, and you may not be able to see it. Let's get in here a little closer. It's right there. It's a Bluetooth water, moisture, temperature sensor. It's called a Parrot flower power, and about $100. I was just incredibly curious to know how the thing works, and if I could maybe use it in the business somehow. So I got one, stuck it out here. Of course, you download the app here, Flower Power. Boom. Does a little work in here. Let's get where. Here we go. Pansies, and you can go in and add. You can go in and add all. They have a huge database of flowers. You can see there's successful synchronization. So I'm hooked up. Gives you the little check mark there. We're going to hit here, and then insufficient water in the soil. Soil moisture, it's telling me it's at 32%. So let's hit this button here. It says, we recommend you water your plant when the moisture level reaches 32%. So it's been raining for 3 days. Let's do the old standby test here. Let me get my finger down in there. And, yeah, it's pretty, it's somewhat moist. These flower beds drain real well. So I can go with that. I could say it may need some more water. Let's check the sunlight here. Bright. You can see it's got like a scale with average FTC and the live KFTC. That's a little over my pay grade. I have no clue what that is. All I know is that the sun is shining and it's bright. All right, let's go right here to the temperature. 49 degrees. It's 67 degrees outside. I'm guessing that's what that means. 50 degrees. I don't know, it may not be measuring outside. It's probably soil temperatures. It's 50 degrees, so that sounds pretty close to right. We didn't even get that freeze that we were supposed to get this morning, so the ground hadn't had time to get cold yet. So 50 degrees sounds right. And now this one kind of bothered me. Not enough fertilizer. It's saying 0.2. I mean, it's not even getting me up to the green. Let's hit this little button right here. It says your plant needs more fertilizer and all-purpose, blah, blah, blah. Remember to follow instructions, blah, blah, blah. So I'm having a little trouble with that one, because I know what's in the ground here. Now it's got a Harold's quick release. A Harold's fertilizer put on it. It's made for actual flower beds itself, and it's had plenty of rain to get activated. You can actually see some of the prills that are still laying around. That's just because that's the slow release part. It hadn't washed off all that coating to release that nitrogen. But you know, the Harold's actually has quick release product in it too, so it's an immediate feed once it gets watered in. So I'm curious. I think I'm going to take some Miracle Grow. I think I got something like that, and I'm going to water in this area right here and see if we get a different reading. All right, so this is what I'm going to try. I have no clue where I got it, no clue where it come from. It's a Miracle Grow Liquifeed all-purpose plant. It grows plants twice as big. Yeah, good marketing right there. It's a 1248 analysis. That means it's 12% nitrogen, 4% phosphorus, 8% potassium. Let's see, what's the rate on this stuff? It's 1 capful per 2 gallons of water. So I've got 1 gallon of water right here in my little watering can, and I'm going to put 4 capfuls in it. Yeah, I'm going to really push it, because hey, man, that app said my thing is low on food. So we're going to do a live test here, and we're going to see if this, we're going to see if the Parrot power thing, the majiggy, will, as we're putting the water, remember we're at 32% on the water, so I'm going to see if the level will change as we're adding water, plus as we're adding the nutrient, will it pick up that nutrient reading as we're putting it in. So here we go. All right, so it's got a little squeeze bottle. One, 2, 3. So 4 capfuls in 1 gallon of water. So that means we are 2 gallons of water in 1 capful. That's going to be, we're about 800% over what the recommended rate is. So let's see what happens. All right, so here we are. We're going to try this out. My lovely assistant and daughter is going to do this because I only have 2 hands. All right, go ahead and start pouring it on there slowly. We'll see what happens. Back up. Put your hand lower on the handle. All right, now turn it. All right, look at that. Look at that percentage going up. Wow. Let's click over here to the fertilizer part. Not moving. All right, that's good. Hang on. Let's go back over here to the water. 67%. It's over doubled. All right, go and put some more out. I'm real curious about this fertility thing, because remember, we put a lot of fertilizer in there. All right, hold up. That's good. Soil moisture it's still climbing a little bit. It's probably not going to get much above that, because it's hard to create 100% soil moisture. That's interesting. I don't know if it takes it a minute to read this or what. Go back over here. Soil moisture hanging out at 62. Let's push it down in the ground, because that water. There we go. Make sure it's getting good breathing. 0.2 still. 63%.
I still have some more in here.
Yeah, hang on. We're going to get a little crazy here in a minute. All right, so this fertilizer thing isn't moving at all. Let's add more fertilizer. When the little dogs don't bark, you need to bring out a big dog. So these are just sample products I test out at the house. This is a 23% nitrogen, straight sulfur. This is a 9-18-9-1 nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. That one down there is a sulfur content. And we use these on our yards and for the business. And these come to us, depending on which one it is. The sulfur comes in like a 250-gallon tote, and then the nitrogen and the calcium, which I don't have any calcium here, but the nitrogen comes in a tractor trailer. We store it in some big tanks inside the shop.
Mama.
But these are just smaller amounts. I keep here at the house, so the heck with that Miracle Grow crap. We're gonna nuke it with the real deal, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, here's the 9-18-9 let's do, you know, there's no, all I'm doing is trying to figure out if this thing will read this nutrition or not. Let's do 2 ounces of it. Oh, well, that was probably more than 2 ounces. That's okay. Let's spike it with a little more sulfur. Let's just do 1 ounce of sulfur. Sulfur's pretty strong. At least this one is. There we go. And this is only in about maybe 2 quarts of water. So this is going to be a real concentrated mix. And let's go about 2 ounces of 23% nitrogen. Oh yeah. All these products are 100% plant available on the spot. So I'm thinking this thing should read the this thing should pick it up when it goes in the ground. All right, come on over here, babe. Data processing, successful synchronization. Let's check that water. Look at that. That fast in a matter of, how long have we been over there? 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe?
Something like that.
Maybe 5 minutes at the most. Look at the soil moisture's already dropped. Isn't that something? And still no no increase in the nutrition. All right, go ahead, babe. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, those pansies right there in that area are gonna be big as a house. All right, hang tight. Ooh, look at there, we're up to, oh gosh, 79, 80% on the moisture. How does that change the temperature? Not really. Of course, it's not gonna change the sunlight, duh. But still, nothing on the fertility. Isn't that something? I'm beginning to wonder about this thing. All right, go ahead. Hit it one more time. All right, so we can get the soil moisture up to 83, and that's, we've put about 2 full gallons of water on that one little location right there and got it up to 83%, but still nothing. What does this little button down here do? Let's hit this button right here. Oh, that gives you a calendar for, no it doesn't, it's some type of reading. Yeah, it's just a graph reading or whatever. Let's go back here. So nothing else has changed. 49 degrees, the sun is still constant. 81% and 0.2. Not enough fertilizer. I just don't know about that flower power. I don't know about that. We put the El Cheapo Miracle Grow crap on it, and we also put highly concentrated commercial grade nutritions in very high quantities, and it's still not picking it up. So I don't know. I'll check. I'm gonna let it sit for about I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour and just see if it reads it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it back out of the ground and I don't know if some of the water has maybe pushed the dirt away from the probes, but I'm gonna push it back down in there like that, and I'm gonna pack it in there. See, I'm kind of packing it around the bottom so we get good soil to probe contact. And let's try that right there. I'm gonna get it in there a little deeper right there. So I'll be back in an hour. So just for kicks and giggles, let's put this thing in the yard and see what's up. As you can see, here's kind of the probe sensor deal. Let's find a spot right here. Let's see if we can get it down in there without breaking it. Because of course this this ground out here is going to be a little more compacted per se than the ground in the flower bed because it's a different type of soil. So here we go, pulling it up, connecting. Look at there. 70% soil moisture. So that's really good in the yard. And of course, it's more clay over here than it is in the flower bed. The flower bed, oh, look at there. It's dropping rapidly. Oh no. My yard needs water. 39%. Let's see, what was it? 32% is what it recommends. And of course, I don't have grass in here. Let's see if we can plant database. Here's all kinds of things in here, strawberry and spider plant. I have no clue if there's anything in here that would remotely resemble tall fescue. Let's see. Hey, Kentucky bluegrass. Let's remember that. This would be real neat if it's got tall fescue in here. Or actually it would be really neat if it has multiple varieties of turf grass. And what would be even neater is if the database was accurate, meaning it give you accurate information of what's real life and true as to what your yard needs. But who knows what it actually says. A U, that's cephalotaxis. Lemongrass, fig trees. My gosh, man, this thing probably goes forever. Begonia, you know, there's just, oh my gosh, there's so many. Tall, look at there, tall fescue, bam. Subspecies, and let's just go with the typical one. Yep, let's hit this little plus button, add it. We're just going to say tall fescue because you can name it, and do next. Take a photo of your plant. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that and hit OK. Flower Power would like to add this to your photos. Sure. All right, here we go. Now we got sunlight, temperature, fertilizer. Oh, it's got a one thing on the fertilizer. That's BS. Takes more fertilizer than that. Buy a Parrot product. Well, what do you know? All right, let's go. All right, so after digging around in this thing a little bit, let's get connected back to this thing. Connected. All right, it says soil moisture is correct. All right, let's hit this right here. And for tall fescue, it's recommended that you water your plant when the moisture reaches 23%. So we're a little bit over the correct moisture level. That's because it rained for 3 days. And I've been irrigating. And then this is it's in progress, advice soon available. Let's click that. Your flower power's environment will be analyzed in depth. This stage is necessary to determine reliable fertilizer advice. If the soil has been too dry or too moist for too long, we cannot reliably analyze fertilization. Consequently, fertilizer levels and advice will be unavailable until soil levels are back to normal. Okay, let's click over here to the soil moisture correct. So I'm a little confused. Maybe it just needs a little time to analyze. So maybe I'll check it out tomorrow and give it overnight to see if that'll work. All right, so here we are back 1 hour. No, I apologize. It's been about, let's see, what time is it here? 2:15. It's been about 2.5 hours. So we're back here. We're going to open up the app, Parrot Flower Power. It's connecting my pansies. Look at there. Let's check the water. Still at 70%, so that's not bad. You can actually see the discoloration around that area where the water soaked in. Let's check out the temperature. Has dropped a little bit, I believe. Or, no, it's actually gone up. It was 47. And let's check this. See, this is disturbing to me. This thing costs $100, and I'm just not sure why it's not reading, because you just watched us put some heavy-duty commercial type fertilizers in the ground, and you would think, at least it's been my dealings with electronics and gadgets and technology and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, things tend to happen pretty quickly. So I'm not sure why this thing is taking so long to pick it up, or if it's even picking it up. So we got a successful synchronization, so it's all working, and we're still at not enough fertilizer. Plant needs more fertilizer, all purpose, and we put 4 fertilizers on it: a Miracle Grow, along with 3 commercial type, NP and K and sulfur, with extra nitrogen. So I don't know. I guess my review on this thing would be, if I were going to do a 5-star rating, I would probably give it something like a 3. It does a really good job with the water. I mean, we saw that in real time as my daughter was pouring water on the device there. You could actually see the percentage go up and down. This side of the house is shady, so you know the shade has taken over now, and you can see we went from way up here to bright almost to the cloudy point. So it reads that pretty well. And then I don't have another thermometer to compare this against, but it seems to be a variation in the temperature. So that part's probably working, but I'm having a hard time with this right here. So that would probably put it down around a 3 for me. If this worked, it would by far be a 5 or a 6, because it would actually, if the fertilizer part worked, it would be up around a 6 for me, because that would be really cool to be able to tell if your plants or your vegetables, you could use this thing in a vegetable garden, needed more food. Of course, I don't know that it's going to go into the breakdown of what type of food it needs. It just says here a all-purpose fertilizer, which could mean many things, but the fact is it's not even picking it up. You see it right there. It's been at 0.2 since, matter of fact, since I bought the thing, it's been at 0.2. So a little disappointed in that part, but other than that, it's a, you know, is it worth $100? Heck no, it ain't worth $100, because it don't work. So maybe if someone from Parrot sees this video somehow, I'm gonna try to post it on their website, and maybe you guys can get with me and either get this replaced and get one that works, or I may be doing something wrong. That very well might be the case. Been known to screw up from time to time. So if I'm doing something wrong, you can tell me what I need to do, or I may be reading this wrong or doing something wrong. But to me, it seems like I add the nutrients, the number should rise. So you can someone from Parrot, you can comment on this video or whatever if you happen to see it. I'd be very interested to know what you have to say about that. Check you later.